Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pants R Dragon, and today we're doing the top 5 best champions for top lane in solo queue. Because you know we haven't done one since patch 5.9, and I just want to keep you guys updated on what champions are still good or what champions may not look good anymore. So yeah, and also there have been some new champions popping up in solo queue, and with all that being said, let's get started. Okay, so number 5 is going to be Rumble. Honestly, I do feel like Rumble is a better pick than Gnar, just because he has more damage than Gnar, and yeah, that's basically it for me. He may not have the CC of Mega Gnar, but I feel like his damage output is way better, especially for, say, solo queue. I also like the fact that he is AP, so that if our AD carry does get fed, he'll be doing a lot of damage since the enemy team has to build armor and magic resist at the same time. And honestly, there's no reason for Rumble not to be in this tier list because he's been here so long without being untouched or the meta kind of changing a bit, so yeah. Next up we have Vladimir at number 4. Again, the reason he is in top lane, and still in top lane, is because no one takes Ignite, and that is his sole weakness, Ignite. Because if there is kill pressure on Vladimir, he is zoned for quite a bit. And if he has easy matchups, you know, against like tanks and stuff, then it's going to be pretty easy for him to deal with and have a free lane for him and scale better than most champions in the game. He's also being played as a mid laner right now, and you know, they do take Ignite, but that's why I do feel like he's a better top laner. Mid laner, he does have more summoners like Ghost and Flash. But right here in this top lane, again, a lot of sustain, so he can be healthy against these tanks or bruisers without Ignite. Yippee! I don't know, he's my go-to champion if I do have to play top lane since he's like super easy, and it's actually pretty hard to kill him unless you have like your jungler with you. Plus teleport helps him a bit so he doesn't lose farm and XP. And at number 3 is gonna be Ryze. Oh no. Okay, so before I said he was really bad, blah blah blah, I was young and stupid. But now I feel like he's actually really good, and there's one reason why, and that is because he has perma root with his W when he goes supercharged. That thing is stupid because once he's level 9, has a 1.75 second root with his W, and he's supercharged, boom, you're fucking perma rooted. And along with that perma root comes a barrage of Qs and Es and a bunch of damage coming your way. You know, his early game may not be the best until he's like, you know, level 7 or 9, kind of like Vladimir. But once he gets into that mid game and late game phase, or you know, level 9 in the laning phase, he becomes super powerful because you know the perma root thing. And once he gets into the mid game and late game phase, oh god, it's just terrible to deal with him because he has so much, well, damage and tankiness. And the only real cons he has is that he doesn't really have any escapes, so it's easy to camp him in lane. And when he's not supercharged, well, he's kind of, not that great. He's kind of underwhelming, but of course, once he's supercharged, then he's overwhelming. But yeah, he's definitely like a top ban in every solo queue game I've come across. The only reason he's not number 1 or 2 is, for some reason, I actually seen some games where he's actually lost, and I'm like, what? Like a lot of games I've watched, I don't understand. I feel like the enemy doesn't know how to play the Ryze, but maybe they're just lacking skill and not playing him to his full potential. Oh, FYI, people are maxing out W first. Ooh, and at number 2, we still have Hecarim, even though he did get nerfed this patch. The only thing that got nerfed on him was his home guard cheese, but even then, that is only a nerf to situational cases where he has to initiate and home guard and, you know, beat someone down. Which of course does happen pretty often, but I mean, it's not a nerf to his laning phase, and it's definitely not a nerf to just roaming around the map as Hecarim. And he still has probably one of the best initiations with the home guard too, so it's not that big of a deal. You can see a difference between the home guard teleport before and now, but his initiation is still powerful, and he still gets a bonus AD coming from that home guard still. And he's definitely a champion you should still be playing, even though he got nerfed like a few times over these previous patches. And at number 1 is still going to be Aurelia, also known as the solo queue top lane god because she can carry a lot of games, has a 2.0 second stun still, and having one of the best on-hit steroids in the game, aka her hit 10 style true damage, makes her incredibly strong, especially with Trinity Force. Okay, so the way I feel is that she'll stop being number 1 if they say nerf her stun, or nerf her true damage and like say buff up Q or something like that in compensation. Either way, she's just super strong, and it's really hard to not say that she will never be good. In Champion Select, she's often banned because of, you know, how good she is for carrying solo queue and her lane, and obviously. Even if she does fall behind, she still has that 2.0 second stun, true damage that doesn't really scale with anything, and all she needs is Triforce to actually do her damage, and then she can just build tanky right after. Next up, we'll be doing some honorable mentions, and first up is going to be Riven like always. Again, those nerfs didn't really hurt her, a bit of her mobility, and a bit of her range on her ultimate because the missile speed is a little bit less, but doesn't really matter because she's already in melee range, and if she's going to finish you with her wind slash, well, you're probably going to get hit because she's already up close in front with you. Oh, and like I say every video, if you know how to play, like actually know how to play and know your matchups and what to do in every situation, not just go in lane, mash your keyboard like every person says on my channel for some reason, and think you're going to win the lane for some reason because you're playing Riven. No, that's not it. You're playing Riven because you actually know how to play her. Then next up we got Fizz. Okay, so you've seen a lot of Triforce, Skirmishers, Saber, tank Fizz, Cinderhulk I mean. And yeah, it makes sense to put him up in the top lane because Skirmisher's damage is increased by Fizz's ultimate. So yeah, that's a plus along with his Sheen proc too, I guess. And right here you got this like Fizz with maxed out W doing a lot of damage to you. Although I'm not too fond of this Fizz, to be honest. I've seen a lot of people play it, but I'm just feeling like AP Fizz is better than, you know, this Bruiser Fizz, Cinderhulk weird stuff. Like I've seen some Fizz players actually go AP along with Smite with the Skirmisher Saber still. But that's just what I see, and I feel like that's better in some ways. Next up we might have Super OP Malphite. He's actually decent right now. I know I do play him sometimes if I have to. And with the W changes, it definitely helped his laning phase a bit, along with team fights, because he'll be doing some more damage after he uses his ultimate. But it's nothing too big to say that he's OP at the moment, or maybe he is, I just don't see it right now. And next up we do have Gnar. So he didn't really have any changes to him, obviously. Last time I said something about Black Cleaver making him like really good again, but it's a good item once he's ahead and he wants to like snowball his lead and kind of build offensively. But it's not really too much of impact, as if you're like kind of behind or, you know, going even with your lane, you still build full tank, so that's what you want to really do. Oh, and even though you see me taking Smite on Gnar in this video, don't take Smite because it's not that great on him. And yeah, in laning phase he is ranged, so he's, you know, strong and can harass the enemy. If he goes into Mega Gnar form, he will outtrade most enemies in that form. The only problem about Gnar is that he kind of falls off late game because his damage isn't there and doesn't last a long time in his Mega Gnar form, which is his most useful form. But that's about it. Hey guys, so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did enjoy this video, maybe you enjoyed top 5 best supports for solo queue as of patch 5.10, but honestly, it would be the same if I made it today. And then there's top 5 best mid laners for solo queue, that's already out, and then there's top 10 best junglers for solo queue, that's coming out later this week, so do look out for that. And again, if you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe right there to join the No Pants party, and I am Panther Dragon, and I will see you guys next time.